Alright guys, I want to start by saying a big thank you to everybody that's subscribed to my YouTube channel. It really means a lot. I was nervous at the start to put out these videos, but the feedback I've been getting on my videos, it's been amazing. So I really want to try and keep this up. Also, I want to say sorry that it's took so long for me to get this latest project out. Unfortunately, I have got health conditions and I can't guarantee that I will be putting out regular videos. I do aim to make regular videos, I just can't guarantee when I'll get them out. For example, I couldn't guarantee a video every week or every 2 weeks, but I'll get them out as soon as I can. So this is it. This is the water and sand table. I've seen a lot of designs on the internet that I've looked at. A lot of them that either only just incorporate the sand section or the water section, or if they do offer the two, they'll be in separate tables. The ones that come together in one piece don't seem to be very big, and I can't see any child enjoying it very much if they can't do what they would be able to do with individual versions. So that's why it looks so bulky. But I decided it's going to be in the garden, so it's best to look more like an adult piece of furniture. I think it looks like a barbecue cart. It could be transformed into that once the child grows out of the age around to use it. As you can see on the lids, I've used a soldering iron to burn on sand and the bucket and spade. And for the water side, I've got water and just a water droplet. Got the two separate parts. Now these are 40 centimetres square, so that should be more than enough space to play around in. On this side I've got two cup holders and also a hole that goes right the way through, that you could put up an umbrella to keep the child shaded when there's too much sun, or in the UK, keep the rain off them, keep them nice and dry. Got the handles over this side, got a storage container, I say container, got some laths along the bottom for easy storage, could put outside garden toys in there. The top will keep it nice and dry, near enough. Got some wooden wheels so it can be easily manoeuvred around the garden. If you want to have it up against the fence or up against the shed, and then you want to wheel it out when you want to play with it, easily move around like that. I'll bring the camera in so we can have a closer look at it. As you can see, this is what it looks like with the lids on. I'm not sure whether you could have saw earlier, but these are the cup holders that I was talking about, and the hole through for the umbrella. This is the under storage. Just got the normal legs there and the wooden wheels, and it's exactly the same on the other side. Just a bolt through, a couple of washers and a locking nut on the other side. And this is what it's like with the lids off. Obviously I haven't filled it up yet. I've actually made this for a relative of mine, so I have got the clay sand already. So I'll just empty the bag of sand in the one side, obviously fill the other side up with water. Away. Now as far as the construction goes, it's very simple construction. I figured that it's going to get probably 2 to 3 years max use out of it, as how fast the children grow. I'm going to soon grow out of this, but it's just glued and screwed all the way around. It could have been more difficult joinery. I did think about using dowels, but unfortunately I haven't got enough clamps, so it would have took a hell of a lot longer to put it all together. Screws are more than strong enough, and with the outdoor wood glue on as well, it's not going anywhere. I started off by getting a load of 2x4s. I think I actually used 6 lengths of 2x4. I was inspired mainly by the Summer's Woodworking competition. The amount of things that people made using the 2x4s, it just gives you so much inspiration, so I'll definitely be using them more often in the future. You can see the legs, these are just the 2x4s cut in half. Now the sides, they're just the 2x4s with a 13mm taken off the wide edge. and then the biscuit jointed together to give them the extra depth. The laths are those 10mm sections that I took off from the boards that made up the thickness of the top, and those was just stapled on and glued. The base to the top two containers was also made in the same way, just 10mm laths glued and stapled into place with glue in between the joints. Then I went ahead and started putting in the liner. Unfortunately, I seem to have lost the footage of me fitting the liner. All I used was standard pond liner. I placed it into the opening, cut it roughly to size, obviously with enough overhang to cover the edges. I then filled it up with some water. That helped hold it in place and put pressure against the side and the corners so the liner would fill in all the gaps. I then used the roofing felt nails to go around the edge of the liner to hold that in place. I then came in with a sharp craft knife and cut it as close to the nails as I could so it would leave enough of a gluing area of wood to wood when I later put on the frame on the top. I trimmed off where the liner was nailed on with these thin strips. Those are also 10mm. I'd got some extra left over from when I was doing the laths at the bottom, so I just cut those in half and used them to trim around the top to hide the nails and also give more support to the liner once there's the liquid and the sanding. Now the wheels was just two 2x4s edge jointed together with glue. When it was dry, I then used a table saw to turn them into a circle and rounded them over with the router. I then used a bolt, 2 washers and a locking nut to secure it into place on the leg. Now the cup holders, this was just 2 separate pieces, a thinner piece off a 2x4 and the larger piece off a 2x4. I cut out the 2 main circles where the cups will be and a through hole all the way through, and then I glued on the thicker section at the bottom, followed that hole all the way through but didn't with the cup holders to obviously create a base that the drink will sit in. The handles was cut out on the bandsaw and then rounded over at the router. Now the lid was more of your traditional kind of construction. The 2 longer rails, I cut a groove through the middle with a table saw. I made tenons on the 2 side rails and then infilled with 10mm laths with no gaps in between, obviously to try and stop the water going through. Exactly the same with this one, except this one I've added a larger piece to merge the 2 pieces together to help any water to just run off, and that's just thickened out with a spacer piece underneath, and that's just to help align the lids when they're placed on top. As you would have saw, the square notches fit over the square posts to the legs that raise up, and that helps also with alignment. Now because it's going to be kept outside, to protect it I've used a medium oak stain varnish. Just painted it all over, just doesn't need to be fancy because it's going in the garden, it looks more natural that way. I hope you've enjoyed this project. What I'll do now, I'll position it in different places around my garden to show you what it looks like against, such as greenery or on the patio by a barbecue, so you can get a good idea of what it would look like in different settings.